Welcome back to Studio Friends, and today we discuss Hot Toys Superman. Photos came out yesterday, and within 24 hours, Inart drops their bomb, a little sneak peek of their version of Superman, and let's discuss which one I think is better. Okay, so right now we're taking a look at the head sculpt of David Cornsweet, aka Superman. And I don't know if you guys saw that viral clip, but they brought this figure out to him, and then he was like, oh, that doesn't look like me, that looks like Superman. And honestly, looking at it, it doesn't really look too much like him, but it does look like a real life Superman, which I don't know is either a pro or a con, really depending on if you like him as Superman, which is kind of hard to tell based on the trailers. I think he's going to go great, but we'll see. Overall, though, he's a very pretty guy. And obviously you got Crypto here. I think they put minimal effort on that one. That kind of looks like something McFarlane would make. There you go. He's got his body. Look, the cape looks great. Cape looks great. Suit looks good. My only issue is I think the suit looks a little too clean, if that's even possible. On the proportions here, it looks like they used the Henry Cavill Man of Steel costume or body, and then just put on this current costume because he's not that jacked in the movie. Even the suit's kind of like baggy on him. There's like wrinkles around on the costume when he's flying around. Yeah, the proportions just don't seem great on this figure. Like his arms are way too jacked. And I'm not quite sure about the material they're using. It looks a little rubber, which it also does in the movie. But to me, it just kind of looks like a figure. Like this is a great pick. Like here, that looks like Superman. That looks straight out of the comics. New 52 version of the costume, Superman. Even the proportions here on the body look kind of good. That's a great pose. Like you can't go wrong with that. But if you look at the fold in the costume on the elbow, like I'm not quite sure how dynamic you can make these poses without the costume kind of disintegrating over time, but that stand is sweet. Yeah, you can't beat that stand. And I love how they have like a magnet now. It's not that like crotch grabber, because that'll definitely destroy the costume. Yeah, all in all though, it looks pretty good here. Head sculpt looks great. That looks like David Cornsweet. Cornsweet? Not sure how you say it. Let me know down below. But yeah, look like that. Okay, this picture right here, that looks like a toy to me. Like no one's biceps / tricep is that big, and especially not that actor. To me, it just kind of looks like they rushed this one a little bit because it does say release date July to December of this year. So I think they're going to pull a Deadpool where they show it and it's released like later that month, at least in Hong Kong. I think they're doing the same thing here, which means we'll probably end up getting a Superman 2.0, maybe a battle damage, maybe a different head sculpt, because they can't tease too much of the movie. They can't spoil it. So they're just showing us, hey, look, this is Superman. Let's get as many purchases as possible and then come out with a different version that's better, probably a new body that they're using. Maybe it doesn't come with Crypto or different, maybe it has a different base, but it's going to probably be a better version. Yeah, like, I don't know. His traps don't look normal here. His quads are way too big. Superman, he can squat a lot, but he's not squatting enough to make thighs that big. And yeah, for me, this is the picture that kind of ruins the figure for me. Like, if you were to stand like that, your chest would be up like this. Like, you wouldn't just be straight up, like your arm like that. Like, you can't, it looks so restricted with that body, with that suit, that you can't get a good flying pose. Like that flying pose is terrible, especially for promo pics. Like you want your figure to look the best as humanly possible, and in this, yeah, no, it's just not a great photo. If they just didn't show this photo, honestly, my opinions would have changed. Crypto, still bad. Like that's a great pose. That looks cool. That sells the figure for me. If I saw that in a store in this glass display case, instant purchase. But just that one pose looks terrible, and then his Iron Man, no one cares about that. So there you go. Hot Toys released these promo pics of Superman. The internet seemed to be like 60% for, 40% against, but part of that 40% against, I think, are just like Snyderverse guys who are just mad Henry Cavill is no longer Superman, and they're just shitting on anything that is in Snyder. But all in all, I think the figure looks good, and they have some room for improvement, which brings me to the Inart. The Inart Superman teaser alone has got me more hype on that figure than the Hot Toys one. And I'm not a bandwagon fan, or, I don't have my allegiance to either Hot Toys or Inart. But I gotta say, between the Inart figures I have versus the Hot Toys ones I have, the Inart ones have that little bit more believability for it being like a shrunken down human being. I think they pay a little bit more attention to the details in the costumes. I find like that their skin texture is a little bit more real. It's not as shiny as Hot Toys. It's a little bit more matte, which to me makes it just seem like more realistic, less sweaty, I guess. And also they've done a big improvement on their hair sculpts. The Aragorn hair sculpt I thought was not very good, and I thought Hot Toys ones were much better. However, the Paul Atreides hair sculpt is great. Like, it's very fine. It looks much more detailed and refined version of their previous ones, and you can kind of tell that Inart is improving their quality as they go. With every figure, it looks a little bit better and better and better. But yeah, even in the photos of the Inart one, you can kind of tell that the costume's got some like dirt to it. Like, it's not just the most pristine costume you've ever seen. Like, there's a little bit of wear and tear. Not wear and tear, it's just like, yeah, a little bit of, dirt and grime on the suit that he's gonna have from flying around, Metropolis. Guarantee there's pollution dirtying up the suit. I think when the photos of that one, the official release photos of Inart Superman comes out, Hot Toys is gonna have a fire under their butt to improve their version of Superman. If you remember when Robert Pattinson's version of Batman came out, Hot Toys was the first one to release their photos, and Inart came out with theirs, and then like a month later, Hot Toys was like, okay, we've updated the body, we've updated the costume, here we updated the head sculpt, like here's a new version. And I think the exact same thing is gonna happen here. If you did pre-order the Hot Toys one, like, don't fret, guaranteed they're gonna try to match, if not surpass, Inart's as soon as their photos get released. Wait a month, they're gonna update that version. And then after that, 2 months time, once the movie's out, they'll probably have a Superman 2.0. So, I think you can't really go wrong either way. I will most likely get the Inart version because I've just been a little bit more impressed with them as of late. But who knows? If this Superman comes out this month, we'll have some in-hand photos of him and video from channels like Justin's Collectibles. He always gets them first. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on which figure you'll be getting, which one you think is best. If you're going to watch the Superman movie, write down below, comment. And if you like this kind of content, sub, like, doing all that YouTube stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one.